Make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Bryan text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
13:14 past. I'm Common. He's 10 and B. And looky who is here, courtesy of some contraption called Backyard. He's Mark Rosen, the legendary one. How are you, me boy?
I've never been so happy to hear your voice before.
Really? I don't believe it.
I kind of am. I kind of am. Yeah. I'm locked in my condo here with my lovely wife at the moment, and who's been my coach, my my trainer, everything the last week.
You had a hip replacement last week, right?
No, not hip. It was knee replacement.
Knee replacement.
I had the left one. Yeah, I know. I think if you talk to folks probably who get to be a certain age and you have to have that done, most people will say the knee is a tougher one to recover from.
Really?
It's just, it's hard. I mean, I had the other knee done in 2015. If I had remembered how difficult this was, I'm not sure I would have done it again. Of course, I would have, because I needed it desperately. In fact, the surgeon said when I got done, he goes, "Yeah, your knee was a mess, bone on bone." And I know a lot of people listening right now, if you don't know, if you have a relative, whatever, pretty much everybody you know, is one way or another, someone family members had something similar. It's a very common thing, but it's not an easy thing. I'm glad I didn't look at the video of the actual surgery until after my surgery. It's just
you
barbaric.
Watched it?
Afterwards I did, an idea. Yeah, it's barbaric.
Well,
I mean, it really is.
What was your curiosity factor in watch? I
wanted to see, because I talked to the surgeon about what they were, I put one of your titanium plates in your knee and whatever else you're doing with the plastic, what they've upgraded. Just kind of, I know what the metals and stuff they put in to basically give you a new knee. I didn't know how they did it. And when you look at the video, I'm glad I didn't know how they did it.
Well, to me, watching a video of your knee replacement would be like me listening back to a Common Man program. I mean, it just seems like it would be painful and barbaric.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't have been my knee. It would have been just the generic knee. But they have like everything else in the world, it's on YouTube. You can find whatever you need to find. And I was just kind of curious. I got to admit, I didn't watch the whole thing. I kind of got the gist of it. I didn't, it's like everything else when they go through. The people are the best. Obviously what they do, the anesthesiologist and everything, and they explained everything and wheeled into the operating room and said, "Well, I'm going to give you a shot in the back, so they'll take the edge off." That's the last thing I remember. Next thing I remember was waking up in there.
Did they ask you to count backwards from 100?
No. I've seen that people have challenged, like the anesthesiologist, saying, "All right, let's see, I can count back and I can get at least the 10." Count back 10 numbers. Never say that
to anesthesiologist, because he might put it on 11 and then you're done.
Well, and they give you that Profilo. It's the same stuff that, unfortunately, it's a very potent anesthesia that they use. In fact, when Michael Jackson died, his doctor was the one who gave him extra Profilo, and that killed him. So, obviously you're working with professionals and they know what to do. And next thing you know, you wake up and you got no feeling in your legs, and, it takes you about, hour and a half to kind of get it all back. But people are great. They're the biggest thing, like everybody else, they tell you over and over and over again. Is that me?
No, you're fine.
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that you got everything's about the rehab. There's, surgeons are phenomenal. They do what they do, but it's all about the rehab. And people who don't rehab it and get it going, it's going to take you that much longer, because your joints get stiff and the new knee and everything around it, the muscles around it. So I've been doing going to therapy once a week, and then been doing all my exercises at home. And Karen's been working me really hard, and you get determined. The more success you see, the more you want to get at it, and then make sure. And I got my ice machine, and I take my drugs and eating healthy. And the hardest part is just sleeping. I mean, just sleeping on your back with your knee kind of an elevated position, and not in a position I'm normally sleep with. You just have to kind of convince yourself you got to get some sleep, and it's sporadic, but it's okay. I'm not going anywhere.
Are you elevating your back with a pair of roll of athletic socks?
How did you know that?
Well, because that's what I elevated my scrotum with.
Yeah, it's been very well documented.
Yeah, I elevated it with my scrotum.
Elevation is important, mostly just pillows, but
okay.
Yes. Yeah, and getting the knee straight.
Let me ask you, you said you have a new, what did they do with the old knee? Do they just throw it in the garbage?
Or do
they give it to a dog and let a dog gnaw on it? Because I would give it to, I'd bring it to a local dog pound and let the dog gnaw on it for a while.
I think I put it on eBay. Mark Rosen's knee. Yeah. Don't you want a piece of Mark Rosen's knee? Oh, listen, the way people get a follicle of Elvis's hair or whatever, people do the weirdest things. But I don't know. I don't think it's, they probably kept bits and pieces of it. They're still in there, but I'll know a lot more. I go Monday. They take the big staples out of my knee and hopefully I get more flexibility and eventually the next couple of weeks be able to drive again.
Do you think you'll be able to run grandmas next year? Will you?
No, I'm just hoping. I'm hoping when we do our shows from TCO Vikings practice facility, that I'll be able to walk from my car where where we park to your luxurious outdoor studio.
The EMTs can bring in with that ambulance.
Well, I was thinking they have
from the
bee sting.
From the bee sting.
Well, yeah, maybe I'll get permission from Jeff Anderson. Those guys let me drive my car up.
Well, look, you go.
That's a ways away. I got time.
Look, I love Jeff Anderson, but you can go higher up the food chain than that. You just talk to Ziggy.
Oh, yeah.
You just tell Ziggy.
I can definitely go up.
Yeah, you're on it. You probably text and talk with Ziggy more than most people know.
Actually, I don't, but that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, everything's going well. I appreciate all the good thoughts. And again, it's a lot of people go through it. Selective surgery. Like we talk about, you get to be a certain age. You just, these are things, this is something I obviously needed to do, and I wanted to do. But you think about, all the people in the hospitals and stuff that goes on. You go, we got to, take this out or take that out. You got a heart issue. You got this going on. Hey, listen, this is nothing. I'm
actually told that your knee is up on the auction block, not on eBay, but it's on Kneebay. It's called Kneebay.
Larry Mondello guy?
No. You should know that. That's a Maury Amsterdam.
Maury Amsterdam guy.
Come on. He's the one that does the play on words. I thought you
knew. That's true.
If I said, who did excuse me, who would you say?
Steve Martin.
Well, yeah. If I said, who's on first, who would you say?
Bud Abbott.
Yeah. So when you hear Kneebay, you got to know that's a Maury Amsterdam.
Yeah,
right?
You know what? My
Abbott
bad.
Costello, Steve Martin, Maury Amsterdam guy, all in the same breath.
That's so true.
Yeah, it truly is.
Oh man. So a lot of TV watching, a lot of stuff. This, it's all just kind of stay focused and try to get my rest in the afternoon and just trying to get healthy day by day. I'll be fine.
Yeah, you will be.
And, it's good to hear from you.
It has already been duly noted by, you've already been nominated for 2 preposterous statements.
What did I say?
The first one you said at 2:03 today, you said, I've never been more happy to hear Common's voice.
Oh, that's true.
Then
that is preposterous.
The other one was you compared yourself to Elvis Presley.
No, I didn't compare myself.
Yeah, no, you did.
No, I said you're talking about putting it on eBay.
Yep. But people said your knee on eBay. Said, well, Elvis Presley. So you were comparing yourself to Elvis Presley.
This is why you irritate me so much.
Well,
I forgot.
It's not me. It's the emailers. Matt from Bismarck says, did Mark Rosen just compare himself to Elvis?
No, I said people do weird things.
Did he compare himself to Elvis Presley?
I didn't say, it's just like Elvis. He had
you compared yourself to Elvis
a little bit of his hair online. I'll come up with 1,000 other ones. I just think it's the ridiculous thing in the world.
It sure sounded like you were comparing yourself to Elvis.
No, I was not. Not at all.
Since you've been gone, that's a song by the Cars. Since you've been gone.
And by Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, did she do a song?
Yeah, very popular.
Yes.
Clarkson.
Kelly
she
Clarkson.
was an American Idol thing. I was just on for some reason, TMZ Live is on the TV here, right? I don't know. It must have been that. Maxwell was in today for.
Oh, because the big wedding coming up this weekend.
Well, that's it. And it's like, couldn't she have done better than Travis Kelce?
Could she have done better than Travis Kelce?
Don't you think?
Well, she wrote, how many songs did she do about her ex-boyfriends?
He's such a.
I don't know.
He kind of just has that dopey tight end look to him.
He has that frat boy.
Yeah.
He's still in college.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem to be the brightest bulb in the drawer, the sharpest knife on the tree, and yet she's fallen from head over heels. So, well, good luck to them.
But how many times do the superstars like that end up marrying an accountant or something? I don't know. I mean, someone who's really bright.
How long do you give that marriage to last?
Probably quite a while. I think they're pretty grounded.
I give it 18 months.
Wow. No, I think they're pretty grounded.
Tend to me, you take
I really do.
Tend to me 2 years. What do you take, the over or the under?
I'll take the over.
Really?
I would too.
You guys think this is a happy ever after kind of a thing?
Well, 18 months is not very long.
The family.
Well,
I think because of their families.
I think
her family. I really do.
Well, what does the family have to do with it?
Because she's pretty grounded. Both of them have been pretty grounded. No, sure. Listen, personalities can take over.
Look,
I'm sure the prenup is probably pretty amazing.
I spent most of my childhood grounded.
Yeah.
Well, I was a juvenile delinquent, so I don't know.
You can relate
Put it this
to
way.
that.
I think the divorce papers will be filed before the wedding pictures are out of the Polaroid. But that's just me. We'll break. We'll come back. More with Mark Rosen. He's on Backyard, and we'll do that next year on the Common Man program on the Fan.
He's Minnesota sports media patriarch. It's Mark Rosen with the Common Man on the
The takes don't stop when the mics turn off. Check out the KFAN YouTube channel for exclusive videos, in-depth takes, initials, and password games, and behind-the-scenes content. Search KFAN on YouTube and hit subscribe today.
Couple 13-14 pastime comedies. 10 to be the legendary one joins us via the StreamYard contraption live from his posh and Tony abode. Well, let's while you were away, much happened. Let's start with Wolves make a blockbuster. They acquire Ronaldo. No, not Ronaldo.
LaMelo.
LaMelo Ball. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I caught me by surprise. I mean, we knew that the Wolves' number one objective, I think, this offseason was to get someone to take the pressure off of Anthony Edwards in terms of handling the ball, bringing the ball up. I mean, he just is working way too hard for his skill set, what he needed to do. So I'm thinking a traditional point guard. Obviously, LaMelo's not a traditional point guard, but I think they got a guy who's has enough question marks to make people wary of him, but also has such an upside still with his talent, and I think his ability to make others around him better, that it's kind of I think it's a big win for the Wolves. I think this is exactly the type of player they needed. But again, you always look at his health. And
a lot of injuries, Mark.
Well, I know. Okay. When you always say Mark, I know I'm in trouble. But no, I think, of course, you have to take that in consideration. But sometimes these players kind of grow out of that at this point of their careers and find a way of getting healthier and staying healthier. And doesn't have to be Superman. Maybe, he doesn't have to do as much for the Timberwolves as he did in Charlotte. The man's got amazing skills in a lot of different areas, especially, like I said, his passing. And he's, big guard. You think he's 6'6", 6'7". So, I was happy they got someone like that because I think, well, who are they going to, we talked about the Kyrie Irvings and John Morant. Irving hasn't signed with anyone yet, but Morant is gone now. And so I think,
you like this club now. You like the makeup. It's the third iteration of this club. It used to be the Gobert, and then it was the Julius Randle, and now we've got LaMelo Ball. And if that doesn't work, who knows who comes next?
They're not done yet. I mean, they got to get a power forward. And I know because all of the last
who are they going to get, though?
Well, their names out there, and I'm trying to avoid saying his name with LeBron, but because LeBron has his pick of the litter, and he's sort of laid out his fight.
Here.
I don't think he is either. But the fact that I was watching a national show this morning, as I tend to do now since I'm laid up, and they had their list. You like to do lists because why?
It's lazy radio.
It's lazy radio. It's lazy TV too. So I don't think it was Stephen A. Smith. It was something like they had the top 5 spots where LeBron would potentially land.
And they had Minnesota
right?
on there, right?
Third. And they said because of Anthony Edwards and because the fact that LeBron has made it very clear through his agent who spoke today on one of the national shows saying for LeBron it's about obviously being in a position with skilled players around me that can, I don't have to be the guy, number one. Number two,
so he just wants a championship so bad he's willing to take a back seat and ride on the coattails of someone else. So it's not even really, he doesn't really win a championship. He's just there as a bit player.
Yeah, but really. It's the fact that the Wolves are even in the conversation. I don't think he's coming here. I can't imagine. I know he played in Cleveland, obviously, and that was his hometown. But I can't see LeBron at this point of his life really wanting to go to a cold weather city and spend as much time because his agent talked about, he joked about, well, as long as I got indoor and outdoor golf courses, LeBron will be happy. Well, we know we have plenty of indoor golf courses he can go.
He wants to play. He wants to play with Steph and Draymond, and
I don't know if he does. I mean that makes the most sense. that's it's an older roster now, but I don't even with LeBron. I mean, I think because the name you get attracted to the glittery names with LeBron and Steph and Draymond, but these guys are long in the tooth and really long in the tooth, and they're certainly not going to put them over. Even if LeBron signed with Golden State, is anyone going to say? I think they're going to watch out Oklahoma City, watch out San Antonio.
I would put them immediately as the third best team in the West. Immediately, well, who would be better? And don't say the Timberwolves. Come on.
No, I think Denver still has to be in the conversation. Yeah, I mean, even though the Wolves have had Denver's number, but the Wolves will be third or fourth best team in the league right now in the West. There's not many left. After you get past KC and San Antonio, who's better? You can't say Denver because the Wolves have beaten Denver pretty consistently of late. I'm just saying that even in fact they're in the conversation. But no, imagine. I mean, I'm not suggesting this is going to happen. I think it's the longest of long shots that he's going to say, I think I'm going to come here. He obviously has a lot of admiration for Ant. They were good buds in the Olympic team, and they spent a lot of time together. I'm sure Ant's called him, a couple different times already.
You think so?
Yes. And the Timberwolves have reached out to their representation to kind of kick the tires a little bit. But it's still, it'd be shocking. But imagine, I think it would be the biggest singular transaction in the history of Minnesota sports. I mean, even at this late age, I mean, talking about, and Favre signed here and, how big a deal that was. But LeBron coming here, every game would be on national television. You think that's bigger than Favre? I do, yes. Because Favre was, he had some really choppy years there at the end. The Jets situation was not healthy.
Sure wasn't choppy when he played for us in 2009.
No, I'm just saying, but before he signed here, I'm just saying, I'm looking at from the standpoint how Brett Favre was playing and what his level was. He wasn't the Brett Favre that led the Packers to the Super Bowl. I mean, he was coming to the end and they're going, well, they really want to take a wrong, but people still were going, I don't know, I think Brett Favre, he's got a bad arm.
Let me ask you a question. Do they call LeBron the Silver Fox? I don't think so. They called Favre the Silver Fox.
One of the great nicknames of all time, yes. We all know what happened in 2009. Well,
he had one of the best years a quarterback has ever had. He was brilliant.
What we didn't need was 12 men on the field. That's a whole other story. Yeah, he did, but I'm saying beforehand. I'm saying before the signing. And LeBron is still playing. Again, he's not to play 48 minutes. He's not going to be that guy anymore. But I think we saw enough of that. His skills at just a remarkable, once in a lifetime, generational type of player that LeBron James is.
I still think Favre would be bigger just because the Vikings are bigger in this town.
I'm talking about nationally. You might be right.
Okay. Yeah.
You might be right from the standpoint of locally that Favre's signing here was as big as
especially because he played for the arch rival for so many years.
No, that makes sense. But not from a national perspective, no.
Right.
The national team would be, I mean, wait, LeBron's going to go to where? To Minnesota?
Yeah.
Does he know how cold it is there in the wintertime? And he really wants to play with Ant, huh? Yeah, he likes the team. He likes Ball. He likes Jane McDaniels. He doesn't have to be the kingpin. He just wants, I come here we help win a championship. Yeah, I mean, that's his situation right now, a lot in life. I don't know. I mean, I'd be shocked.
So if we don't get LeBron, who do you like in the, I mean, I saw a list of names by Rand Ball and I'm not paying as close attention to the league as I once did.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize most of the names.
No, you don't.
Nothing jumps out and says, wow, this is, I mean, again, unless we, maybe we can figure something out, but it's the old cut off your nose to spite your face. Oh boy, we got a real point guard now, but now we don't have everybody in the front court. So what do we do?
Well, yeah, there's options. I mean, look what the Lakers did today in a span of like a half hour. They made a big trade with Utah to get your guy Walker Kessler. Remember, he was the big name on draft night, and then he was hurt most of last year. But the Lakers kind of mortgaged their future to get Kessler in the front court. They signed a couple other players as well that, they don't have so much the big three anymore. They got Luka, but, and Reeves, they got a nice trio. If Kessler could stay healthy, might be a one-time thing, but yeah, there's some good players out there, but, I don't know if they're, I mean, they don't need to be, the Wolves are pretty well set. I mean, I think with,
you like this club.
What they have with,
no, you do, I can tell.
Well, I mean, they still got some work to do, but I think LaMelo has to be the guy that helps invigorate Ant, even be a better version of himself, and cutting down on turnovers, being a better ball handler, doing all the things that taking the pressure off of Ant, of getting almost to the point of exhaustion we saw many times, especially in the postseason. Of course, then he got hurt, and that didn't help. But yeah, I like, I kind of like the makeup of this team, and I don't think Conley's done. It's just a matter of which one they can get, but with a watchful, distant eye on LeBron, but which again is obviously going to be a long shot at best.
LeBron soda. What do you think?
Yeah,
LeBron soda.
You coined a phrase. Yeah.
This is the most compelling argument for Favre as a bigger acquisition in Minnesota sports history than if they were indeed to get LeBron. Mm-hmm. It says, I don't remember Favre sitting on the bench just trying to hang on to the coattails of the Vikings. That's what LeBron would be doing here. Hanging on.
No, he wouldn't.
He'd be trying he'd be trying to coattail ball, he's gonna only play 2 games a week and he's gonna limit his minutes to 30 minutes a game, letting Ant and LaMelo do all the yeoman's work. I don't remember Favre doing that. I remember Favre laying it on the line. Guys are laying. Favre laid it on the line and got to the point where he was basically he was a beaten. He was
beat down to a pulp.
Well, yeah, they beat him to a pulp.
Well, they cheated doing it, Saints. We know that, but that didn't matter.
We'll break.
They shouldn't have had that schism with Childress.
We'll break. We got one more segment to go with the legendary Mark Rosen, along with Common and Tennessee right here on the Fan.
Also, the Fan has your chance to win $2,500. Just enter the keyword TRIP at KFAN.com now. The keyword is TRIP. Enter now at KFAN.com.
It's Mark Rosen with the Common Man on the Fan.
The global stage is lit. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is...
Past Common Man program, final segment of the day. I'm Comedy's Tennessee. Mark Rosen joining us via StreamYard from his humble abode. So NHL free agency began today, and Zuccarello is no longer a member of the soon-to-be Stanley Cup champion Minnesota Wild. From all reports, the people that I trust, Zuccarello has been instrumental in helping lift Kirill Kaprizov to the lofty heights that he's at. And yet Zuccarello's coming off, arguably, even at age 39, his best year as a pro. We decided we're smarter than the average guy. We don't need him anymore. He's gone. Could this be the first move of the tumble of the Minnesota Wild in their fall from grace?
I hope not. I don't think you just said that the key stat is as valuable as Zuccarello has been. He's obviously getting longer in the tooth. And
well, we're trying to win now. We keep hearing we're trying to win right now. That's why we've made all these moves for Quinn. We traded all the future. We traded not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 first-round picks, the equivalent 3 players that were first-round picks and a first-round pick, because we decided we wanted to win right now. So at age 39, that's still trying to win right now.
That's what they have to make room for some of the younger guys that they feel are going to have breakout seasons now. The Brinks of the world. Okay. I mean, others, and obviously there's still, it sound like, Lieutenant, I'm sure you can weigh in on this. I've been following you a lot closer, but, the Steve Yzerman, the GM of the Detroit Red Wings, doesn't seem to be real keen on, parting with his star player that went the Wild one desperately. The big move that everyone thought was going to happen, Larkin, right? I mean, Larkin, the needle doesn't seem to be moving at all in that direction. That, the Wild can't give up Matt Boldy for Larkin. I mean, that's just not going to happen. I mean, they have young star players, and, listen, Kaprizov, I'm sure, wasn't thrilled about it. At the same time, he didn't make it easy on Zuccarello. He signed the biggest contract in the history of the NHL, I think. And, they have only so much money to spend, and Quinn's got to sign a new contract, and that's probably going to happen. And I think the Wild are still in a good position, but they're going to need one more centerman at least to kind of put them over the top, and you start competing. So we saw what happened in the postseason again. So I know the Zuccarello thing is, you can almost see it coming again. It doesn't sound like he was real happy with the way the Wild handled things, but very transactional.
I guess I would disagree with you there. I think everybody was kind of surprised the Zuccarello thing, weren't they? Telling me,
yeah. I didn't think anybody could see it after the year. It seemed like the biggest no-brainer he was coming back.
Yeah, that he was going to sign. I don't think it was anybody could see.
Well, I'm just saying that don't think Zuccarello was happy with the Wild, with management, with Bill Guerin, et cetera. He thought the same thing. I'm not going to be able. I'm not going anywhere. Why would I want to go anywhere at this point of my career? I get to play alongside Kirill Kaprizov. What's wrong with this picture? Well, they kind of. I mean, I don't know. They asked Bill Guerin that. I haven't seen the quotes from him. Why they kind of bigfooted him out of there at this point of his career. We see a lot of players in the NHL. I certainly saw a lot of them. The Stahl character winning for Carolina. How many years apart with Stanley Cups? I mean, guys can play really well into their 40s and play at a high level. I mean, so the age sort of scared him off, but it's too bad. I think he's a popular guy with his team, his teammates, and with the fans, and that's a tough loss.
How about your Twins club? You know, if you've been keeping up with them, and I know you have, the American League is very down this year, record wise, and particularly the AL Central. I mean, I can't even believe this. Can you even believe I'm saying this? The Chicago White Sox, the first place Chicago White Sox, Twins lost last night. They but despite their bullpen woes, I think Tennessee said they'd won like 9 of 14, and they lost last night with Joe Ryan on the mound. But they were only 4 games out of first place. They're right there for a wild card. It's crazy. But as was pointed out in the Fish Wrap Factory West Side story today, the defense is like the worst defense in Major League Baseball. Yet their offense is, I think they might be
one of the
tops
best
in the American League.
Yeah. Runs scored. And,
our bullpen is awful, though it has moments. Yeah. It's had stretches where, like, I think they went like 13 innings without giving up a run, and then they give up 13 runs in 1 inning. It's just crazy how it works. We've had some success with the starting staff. Zeb Matthews has been very good this year. The Prelip character has been good. And Joe last night, I mean, I don't know if you watched the game last night.
I saw enough of it, yeah.
Joe gets Altuve on a called third strike. He challenges. It's ruled a ball. He gets first base. Alvarez is the next hitter up, hits a grand slam, game over. Yeah. 2 years ago, he would have been in a called third strike game. Who knows how the game would have turned out. Yeah. But they're still just, they are hanging around.
Oh, that's the best thing you can say about them, because when I watch them, they can be very entertaining to watch in terms of offensively, manufacturing runs, having some power. I think this team is doing pretty well offensively. And then what happens is, and we saw it the other night when they won the game, they just held on by their skin of their teeth to win a game, in the last inning, because their bullpen is consistently giving up leads and runs in the late innings. I mean, you don't have a lockdown guy. You don't have anyone you can count on. These aren't the people that are going to make your season work for you. And they know that. They traded, the Louis Varland. Go down the list, Duran, Varland, guys that would be absolutely wasn't going to cost them an arm and a leg and still been a big factor for this baseball team. Today's game is not played that way. We know that. We've talked about it over and over again. If you don't have that shutdown guy, or guys in the 7th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th innings, you're not going to play 500 ball. It's just not going to happen. And last time was disappointing because Joe Ryan, you expect the one guy who could maybe shut the door. The Twins got off to a good start, and then next thing you know, he's giving up a grand slam, and the game is over in Houston. But they're a frustrating team to watch. I try not to get too wrapped up emotionally because I try to just enjoy for who they are. But I can't help but think that I just think that management, again, they turned their back on the fans and decided that this is the way we're going to go. They left Derek Shelton, they hired, and left him twisted in the breeze because they didn't leave him with anything to work with. And there's just guys that just you can just look at him and go, you can't count on this guy for more than maybe one positive appearance a week. So good luck. I mean, you're not going to probably move the needle very much with this team, even though they are theoretically competitive with the wild card spot. Speaking of competitive, how about your Lynx club? I mean, my goodness. I have to admit, I don't pay as close attention to the WNBA or the Lynx as I once did, but this team are they as good as any team in the WNBA? Yes. I think they are. They're feisty. Keep in mind, of course, Nafisa Collier's coming back. I think they just cleared her for practice. Full practice. So that's called the rich getting richer is what it is. My goodness. You could argue the top 3 player of the WNBA back with your team and watching the development and the quick maturation of Olivia Miles at the point guard position is just dazzling to watch. She's plays with a chip on her shoulder. She's one of those players, if she was on your team, you love her. If she's not, you can't stand her. But she plays with an edge, and she plays with, again, the type of, maybe we talk about LaMelo Ball. I mean, Olivia Miles has got that panache to her, the way she plays the game, and the Ball's got, the spectacular assist that'll end up on SportsCenter. But Ball can do a lot of different things, and she's not taken any time at all to assume a leadership position on that team. And so, yeah, I mean, kudos to Cheryl for mixing and matching and finding, the right. They had to lose a lot of players this past offseason, and here they are, very much so, competing for another WNBA title this spring.
And did Cheryl get into the basketball Hall of Fame too?
She did. She had her acceptance speech over the weekend. It was great to see. Obviously, well-deserved for lots of reasons for what she's accomplished here with a lot of different personalities, a lot of different players that she gave credit for. And, we know the names by now, but boy, in a blink of an eye, it's like, 100 years ago, it's Simone Augustus and Maya Moore and Lindsay Whalen and, Sylvia Fowles. How long they just keep churning them out. And that's credit to her, being the GM as well as the head coach right now, that she understands talent and what it takes to win in this league.
Dateline Mexico City, this is an Associated Press story, says Mexican health authority said today that 4 people died during massive celebrations in downtown Mexico City after the national team's victory over Ecuador secured a place in the World Cup round of 16. 2 women and 1 man were found unconscious on streets near the iconic Angel of Independence monument, where thousands had gathered Tuesday night to celebrate. The victims, who authorities said died of asphyxiation, were 48, 44, and 19 years old. Authorities did not provide additional details about the circumstances of the deaths. Later Wednesday, Mexico City Health Secretary Nadine Guzman told a news conference that another man, about 30, was treated by emergency personnel after suffering an epileptic seizure, convulsions, and gastrointestinal bleeding. He died shortly afterward at a hospital or cardiorespiratory arrest. Mexico City Mayor Clara Brugada said on social media that emergency crews responded immediately after receiving reports of the 3 unconscious people, but they had already died. Brugada also urged the public to celebrate responsibly, carefully, and with empathy. I don't know if your guess is as good as mine. I don't know how. Well, they died of asphyxiation. Did they get crushed in a crowd, or what happened?
I don't know what other explanation there would be. When you hear that term, it's the most, I can't even imagine a worse way to die. I mean, you probably get pushed up against a gate or trampled or whatever the case may be. But I got to believe that they were prone in a prone position.
Victory. It's just insane.
Well, I mean, listen, Mexico City was one of the hosts. They got another. You think that was raucous? Wait till their next game. England won this afternoon. Mexico hosts England, I think Sunday night or Monday, in the next round. Winner take all type of game, and that is going to be wow. I mean, it's hard. I mean, hardcore sports fans, English fans and the Mexican fans have to separate them, I'm sure. But it's going to be as rowdy as you ever experienced. I mean, we got the U.S. playing tonight, but England happened to come back and win that game, so they have one more on the road, and they play in Mexico City again this weekend sometime.
Meanwhile, the United States plays their first game. I think it's been a month and a half since they played their last World Cup game. They are playing Bosnia-Herzegovina. That game is at 7:00 tonight.
Yep.
Your thoughts?
Well, I think the U.S. rightfully should be favored in this game. Again, we talk about List Radio. We mentioned LeBron's chances of coming to Minnesota. I saw the guys who are doing the soccer commentary. Nationally, internationally, or nationally, the experts, they had their top 10 remaining teams, and I think the U.S. they had 10th or whatever it might be. They're listed as 10th, and that's probably kind of where they belong. But certainly, I think. Listen, I got to worry about us tonight, and then you can move on from there, because now you get in a situation where you're going to have overtimes, they're going to have penalty kicks. We've seen it already. I mean, you get in a situation. I don't care if you're playing the best team in the world. You're getting penalty kicks against them. It's like the shootout in hockey. I mean, you get a hot goalie, playing guessing right. That's all it takes at that point. No one's caring about the rest of the, your talent, your roster, and how you looked and who you beat and the rest of it. So I'm not saying that's the only way the U.S. can win, but I think that's probably a good conclusion. Although I think they will win tonight. They're well rested, as you mentioned. Their star players coming back, and They look good. I mean, I think they should win this game tonight, and then we'll take it from there.
If the United States were to win the World Cup, would that rival Miracle on Ice?
In a different way, yeah. I mean, it's just been, I mean, it's never been, was the furthest the U.S. has ever gone. I mean, yes. I mean, it would be right up there with one of the biggest upsets in history because you're talking about a, worldwide sport. This is, as we've seen, if you watch any of these games, the passion with the fans, and I don't care if you're playing in Atlanta, Jersey City, out in Santa Clara, the stands are packed. I mean, I know they were talking about having tickets available. I haven't seen many empty seats. But yeah, I think in the U.S., considering this is a sport that we've been trying to grow for how many decades now, if they were to somehow win this thing, I can't imagine a bigger upset than what I saw at Lake Placid. No, 100% it would be as big or bigger.
Like you say, it would be different, but it would certainly because, two different sports, amateurs, pros, even though we have some of the U.S. players. Yeah.
Obviously playing the Premier Leagues in Europe, but they're not as a team. This is the best I've seen the U.S. team look in quite a while. Yeah.
Back to basketball for a second. Yeah. I failed to mention Mike Conley is signed with the Celtics, no longer Minnesota Timberwolves. I didn't think he'd be playing another year, but he loves the game. Will this be his? It's got how many years is it? 13, 14,
19?
15? Is it that many?
Maybe. It might be. Look it up. Maybe Tanner can look it up. I think he's been playing for 17, 18 years.
Wow. He's back for another.
I think that caught a lot of people by surprise. Not that, Conley, good for the Celtics. The Celtics still see something in Mike that, we want a valuable asset on our bench and to help with the fill out the roster and to give us some valuable minutes and, afterwards. And good for Mike Conley. I mean, I'm sure after re-signing,
he's played 19.
The Sumo.
19.
Wow. The Sumo and Bones Highland. There really wasn't enough room, even to take in consideration that Dante's probably not going to be back till late in the season, for Mike Conley and as helpful as he is as another coach on the floor, et cetera, et cetera. Good for the Boston Celtics to see that. And Mike expressed an interest in playing one more year. And he's going to obviously one of the favorites in the East that will continue to be a team that could potentially get to the NBA Finals.
You like this Boston club, don't you?
I think I did. I think I liked him more than you liked Detroit this last year. I can't remember, and then the Knicks surprised all of us. So I don't know. It's the NBA is a constantly changing enterprise, in terms of champions and repeat champions, et cetera, et cetera. So I wouldn't get too locked into thinking that the Knicks are going to the Knicks won't even be probably favored to win the East next year. They might be, but I mean, what I'm saying is that I don't think anyone's penciling the Knicks in as a future dynasty. They're not, because they won't be.
Tenna B asked me a question during 534. He said some football writer had a list of, how did he phrase that, Tenna B? Biggest surprises or bold predictions? Bold predictions.
Yeah.
And one of his was the Minnesota Vikings will win the NFC Central, and he says the reason they will win it is because he has more faith in their defense than the other three teams. Your thoughts?
Well, listen, we can make an argument for pretty much any team in the NFC, except I don't know if I think the Lions, from a national perspective, I think people look at the Lions defense going, well, they got some work to do. And obviously they have the personal the situation with their defensive back.
Well, he's gone. He's been
he's out. No, he's gone. But I'm saying that hurts them from a football standpoint beyond the crap that went on with the person's life. I think, Brian Flores' reputation kind of speaks for itself. And I think you can look at the Vikings and look at the two young defensive tackles they signed and they drafted and brought into the mix. The secondary, I think, is still got some question marks, but there's an argument to be made for certainly the Bears having that, maybe the best defense in the NFC North. Packers. I mean, I don't know how you get deep in the weeds this early in the summer to suggest that you kind of have all the answers.
It's called lazy radio. That's how we get deep in.
Well, I know, but it doesn't. I mean, I don't think any of our perceptions of this NFC North is going to change a whole heck of a lot. I mean, we know how wide open it is.
Right.
One team will emerge. The whole Kyler Murray, J.J. McCarthy's soap opera that will continue starting in training camp in a few weeks. Will kind of weed itself out, and we'll kind of have some answers probably sooner than later.
So,
but
no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I just don't think. I think Brian Flores' reputation and the way the players' belief in what his system is doesn't matter what the personnel is. I think kind of speaks volumes to the the way the Vikings are viewed defensively around the NFL.
You've had more knee replacement surgeries than meat sauce has brain cells, but in your recovery, when will you be like? Are you running in place? Are you are you doing jumping jacks, sit-ups, push-ups? What are you doing?
No, I'm using a walker pretty much everywhere. I mean, it's just a matter of getting your flexibility back. I mean, it's quite a trauma you have with your leg, and obviously I got to listen to my therapist. We got exercises that Karen's been helping me with here at home, and the ice machine is my best friend. Sleep is not my best friend, but you just got to take it day by day. I mean, I hate to say it's the old cliche, but it's so true. I'm not a 25-year-old athlete. I'm just trying to get better and better, and I feel confident about that. And like I said, this is still as difficult as it was. Still elective surgery. No one forced me to say you got to have this, or you're not going to make it. So I feel in a good position to be able to say this is going to make my quality of life better. So I think that's what anyone has to look at. The older you get,
would you say that having had one knee replaced earlier and gone through the recovery and the recuperation, does this make this one can you compare the two? Is this so far harder, easier? Do you think it'll be easier because you've done it once? Oh, harder.
I think because your memory erases like I said, if I had remembered how difficult this first week was post-surgery, I'm not quite sure I would have wanted to do it or gone through. I would have gone through with it, but no, I think it's been harder. And I think maybe part of it, I'm 11 years older too, so you got to take that into consideration. But yeah, I mean, it's not an easy thing. I've talked to some good friends who just recently had it, and with mixed results. Some people have taken weeks and weeks and weeks to recover. Others, kind of bounce back a little bit more. I just want to be able to walk soon and be able to drive again and just do little things that matter.
The Fitness King will get you back in shape too. We know
He will for sure.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Do you think you want to give it a try tomorrow, or does this take too much out of you?
No.